Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Popcorn Watchlist podcast, where we discuss and celebrate our favorites in TV and film. I am your host, Xavier, and today I have the distinct pleasure of being with my fellow Popcorn Watchlist panelists to talk about one of my favorite movies. And this is a movie that I was inspired to watch after a recent trip, and a first-time trip, might I add, to the wonderful world of Las Vegas. I think everyone else here, both all three, Anthony, Danny, and Zach, I think have been to Vegas before, before me. Exactly.
Several times.
So like...
Oh, I have family there.
That's really cool.
High roller.
I've been there once. I think
I went there.
No, I don't think
just a few months ago.
No, I don't think so.
Oh no,
well,
you didn't
not with me. I wasn't there.
You didn't go
with the family, but just not me.
So family ties and New Year's Eve celebrations aside, this was the first time I have ever been to Las Vegas. I went for some music for the second year of Sick New World, and in the meantime, flying into Vegas at night and driving through the strip to where I was going to stay was surreal, because it made me think of all the times you see different movies, people go to Las Vegas, you see the glitz and the lights and everything on the strip, and you realize, holy crap, this place is real. But this place also has a really interesting and fun and unique history about it. And it made me think about a movie that really celebrates that history, but also in a way tries to modernize to what modern day Vegas is. And that movie is none other than Ocean's 11. Starring a massive jam-packed list of A-list actors
everybody
of the time.
Starring everybody.
Like Oppenheimer.
It was like Oppenheimer before Oppenheimer came out. So you have George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, Matt Damon, Andy Garcia. Matt Damon. The late great Bernie Mac, Casey Affleck, now Academy Award winner, Scott Conn, James Caan's son. You have Carl Reiner. You have, who else am I missing?
Elliot Gould.
Elliot Gould, yeah, he plays Ruben. I missed the guy.
Rhodey.
Yes, Don Cheadle, obviously. Holy crap. Who's rocking a British accent as Basher. Dude, that character's great. Which we'll get into a little bit later on, but we also have
Eddie Jemison.
Eddie Jemison, who plays Livingston. He's like the tech guy of the group, and I think you had also a lot of different cameos, a lot of really fun.
Andy Garcia.
Yeah, I mentioned Andy Garcia earlier.
Did you say Elliot Gould?
Yeah.
Because him, the only other role that I recognize him from was from Friends. Obviously, he was the father to Monica and Ross.
Yeah. No, he's great. Like he's like the part of that legacy of what the old 50s and 60s Rat Pack Vegas is all about. And the movie is basically about George Clooney, who plays the titular Daniel Ocean, and he rustles up a group of 10 other like-minded individuals to pull off a seemingly impossible heist in Las Vegas. And on top of that, he's looking to win the love of his life back from the man who owns those 3 casinos, played by Andy Garcia. And it's directed by Steven Soderbergh. And he's, over the years, done more of these. There's a whole trilogy and a sort of additional one with Ocean's 8. But the movie...
Magic
Mike? Oh, yeah. He did the Magic Mike films.
He did 1 and 3, I believe. He didn't do the second one.
He didn't do the second one? He didn't do Magic Mike 2, The Streets?
No, that was Double XL.
Double XL.
He did Logan Lucky.
Dude, Logan Lucky, basically there's a line in that movie, quick side note, where because of the heist in Logan Lucky, which is really funny, by the way, it's a great movie, someone in the news or whatever called the heist Ocean 7-Eleven. Yeah, if you haven't seen that movie, you should watch it. I mean, he's done a couple other serious movies, I think,
he's done,
Traffic.
Contagion.
Yes, Contagion.
And then he's also done one that came out on Max. I think it was a Max exclusive or something. Kimmy.
Yeah. I didn't get to see that one. But it's a lot of different different tones of stuff. So it's pretty cool. The dude knows how to make a good movie. But to get right into the movie, man, it just exudes style. I don't know how to else describe it. Like, you watch this movie and you're like, there's no way like this movie doesn't hook you, grab your attention, and just capture you with all the different variety of characters, the intricacy of the plot. The heist is really clever and slick. Everyone has there's always the plot twist or the hang-ups to the plan, and it has to improvise and adapt and then overcome. Yep, Bear Grylls. The whole masterminding of it all, and Andy Garcia playing a really fun but like serious villain in Terry Benedict. I think it's just great. Like it's too good. Like, I don't know. Like, I as picking this movie, like even from the beginning scene where Danny gets out of parole and he's getting out of prison. He meets up with Rusty, played by Brad Pitt. Which, by the way, I don't know if you ever noticed, but every time Rusty is not in disguise, he's always eating something. That's one of my weird favorite character traits of that character. In all that in this entire movie. It's just he's always eating, munching on something. Like, I think it's because later on, is it like he's a recovering smoker? I forgot what it was, but like if it's addressed in 12, or because 12 is more like of a Rusty kind of story anyhow, with this girl that he the girl from Interpol that he had a thing with, played by Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Europol.
Yeah.
I mean, Brad Pitt, I feel like he's always eating or snacking on something.
Yeah.
In movies.
The dude's always on a roll.
He likes dags.
He likes dags. And yeah, man. What's really cool too is like this movie is also like a showcase of the Bellagio, and which are technically like MGM properties, and like because they talk about there's a big fight that happens at the MGM Grand, and then what's the other hotel?
Mirage.
The Mirage, or is it the Mandalay Bay?
It's Mirage.
Is the Mirage? Okay, yeah. So he had basically all the funneling of all three properties' money goes into the Bellagio. But yeah, it's having now seen the Bellagio like in person, it makes sense.
It's huge,
yeah, it's huge. You could totally pull off a heist there. But everything, the setup about like what his plan was is what Danny Ocean's plan is great. And you have a benefactor in Ruben wanting to knock off money off from Terry Benedict because he bought a casino from one of the casinos from him. And he's gonna like bulldoze it down. He's like, he's gonna make some stupid monstrosity or whatever. Like it's like this weird like rivalry between old money and old casino money in Vegas. But before we get into some of like everyone's favorite moments, Danny, what was for back then the budget of this movie? Because giving all the like top tier like A-list talent, you think they spent a crap ton of money on it.
You think this would be like the Avengers of
$180 million movie in like 2001.
So this budget was $85 million.
Look at that.
And then box office worldwide, it made a staggering $450 million.
Yeah, man.
Definitely made all the monies.
Yeah, so there had to be a reason why you had to make another one.
And I just looked it up. This came out within like a month range of both Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, the Philosopher's Stone.
Nice.
Or Sorcerer's Stone.
The big budget
so
fantasy blockbuster.
Still made a bunch with those two big movies around the same time.
Yeah, man, it was just kind of like that cool factor. Like again, everything in this movie was just cool.
The music's cool. Everybody's wardrobe is cool.
How they recruit everybody is really cool.
Just like
the locations and like where they go is cool.
And then like the editing style, just like showing all the different players. Like, okay, now let's go to the next person. It's like everything blends so well together in this movie.
Yeah, speaking of editing styles and like how they pull in and bring up everybody, it reminds me of like the one like really cool thing that was just like, man, this movie's cool, is when they're thinking of recruiting Linus, played by Matt Damon. He's on the Chicago subway or on the Chicago train as he pickpockets some guy. So Danny's watching him, and as he walks away, Danny Ocean kind of immediately like pickpockets him, but also drops off the little calling card of him and kind of like
business card that just says his name.
Just says Danny Ocean. It's just like meet me over here, and he has the watch bag. And it's like, if you want to get something bigger than just ripping off Chicago money or like Chicago stockbrokers, then come on over. But like that whole scene, like it's like the kind of interesting like film edit. Like it's kind of like these weird like slow like chopped cuts. I don't know how to describe that other than it just has that like disjointed style a little bit, and at the same time like the music that's playing in the background, like it's just that's like perfect. Like you're gonna you heist the heist kind of person, and it's a good idea of what to expect from the entire movie. But I mean, I want to open up to the rest of them. I mean, I can talk. That's what this episode's about. Like, I can talk about the movie, but I want to open it up to Zach, Anthony, Danny. What's some of your like standout moments, or some of the things that you remember from like various characters or things from the movie itself?
Well, for me, I think one like the one big part that really got my attention was at the very end where
the twist.
Like that whole twisting at the end with the how
the recording.
I didn't know how to really describe it. Like the whole recording.
Spoilers.
How did that even? What? How did they use the fake? Vault to record?
Remember they built
a replica entire vault
to practice. Remember they built it to practice.
Kind of like did it.
And then remember in the what's his face? Livingston, is that his name?
Yeah.
He was connected to like all their cameras, so he essentially just like got that video and put it through the video feed in that room.
Well, because that part. So I'm assuming that by the time that I forgot his character's name.
Benedict?
No, Rusty.
Oh,
where
Rusty.
Rusty's on the phone with Benedict.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's in a SWAT suit.
Yeah,
and he's calling him while in the SWAT suit while they're like taking all the money.
It had already happened. Like by that point, the robbery had already taken place.
Yeah, because hey, we're your SWAT team. And remember when they called the SWAT team? They rerouted the call. He's like, hey, emergency response. So damn. And then they sent the SWAT team, which was just the rest of the gang in costume, going down into the shaft.
Yeah,
they find Danny and Linus, and then that's when they get all the money. And then they stage oh my god, they shoot blanks. So like, oh no, they got a weapon, and then they blow up, and then they blow up the money, but that's fake money in the casino vault that they built, so that what's his name can train on it, doing the ridiculous backflips.
Remember the beginning of the call, he was still in the lobby, and that's when Julia Roberts runs into him.
Yeah.
And then like after they meet and he's still in the call, that's when he like walks away, and that's when he goes and probably I guess meets up with them to change into the SWAT costume, because that's when they end up. They call SWAT during the conversation that he's talking to Terry.
Yeah, and again they had to make that vault so that Yen can practice the backflip to get over. $10 says he makes. They keep betting against him. That's the messed up part. They keep betting against him.
If he misses, you guys don't get the money.
But I get $20 right now.
He still makes money either way.
Either way.
Because he overshoots it, and he almost.
Yeah, and he still catches it. I forgot who's looking on. They're like, oh man, that's amazing. That whole like little reveal, because again, Benedict's not stupid, which is great. Like he's not stupid, but it's just he's getting outplayed. When he looked at it, he's like, wait a minute, stop right there. It's just like, where's the Bellagio stamp? I only put it on last week. This is the replica of my vault. And then he looked, he's like, oh, we got played. Especially when they took the remote control van and just blew it up. It's fake money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got him good.
Yeah, that part was really cool how it all kind of came together there in the end. But we jumped straight to I jumped straight to the end.
Well, might as well.
And skipped out like the other hour and 45 minutes.
I mean, definitely one of the better parts for sure.
But yeah, like you gotta love that when it's all love it when a plan comes together kind of thing. Like
it builds up style. All the way like while you're watching, and then you think you kind of know what's going on, and then it does a twist, and you're like, oh, like they go back and show you how they did something. And I liked a lot the cast, just the cast in general, like everyone bouncing off each other and like making jokes, or like that one where they're betting on this guy to like fall, and
everyone has ridiculous chemistry with each other. Like Scott Conn and Casey Affleck.
Oh yeah.
Like the Malloy brothers, they're like, you really want those guys? Like, yeah, they're bored.
They're bickering and
again,
but they do everything. They were like in every like scenario doing something else. Like they just changed costumes. They were like security guys for Mr. Zerga. They were
Dude,
the balloon guy that covered the camera.
Like every
Don't call me
job.
friend, pal. They're testing the van
friend.
when Frank is
dude.
when Frank is trying to work a deal on the van. They're in the back, like just jumping on the van for the suspension. I'm just like, what's going on here? They're testing it out. It's just like, I can let go. It's like, oh, about cash, and he's like, you know what? And just to kind of put the squeeze on him on the deal, he literally shakes his hand and will not let go until the guy's like, well, maybe I can get it down to 30,000 if you just do it all cash right now. Let me see what I can work out. It's like, yeah, you do that, because like the whole time he's shaking his hand, he's like, what you got? What y'all work on your hand? Because he goes off and I tried all kinds of lotions and smooth and everything. People try me. Again, just Bernie Mac is so good at this.
Which part? What was he trying to do there again? Because
he's trying to get the vans for less money. Basically.
Oh, okay.
So they're just buying the vans because they needed the van for the whole pinch thing to get the EMP.
Yeah, for the EMP, and then to also because I think it was like two of them, but like they needed the EMP and the remote van to blow it up.
But like him holding the handshake, that was him like trying to like
it's him basically
just squeezing. Okay.
Oh yeah. Because then all these guys, they know what's up. Like they're all able to like they're all hustlers in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
Like even you meet Rusty at the beginning because he's basically sort of hustling these like up and coming Hollywood types that are Topher Grace gang, and like I call it the CW gang basically.
I didn't realize that that Topher was playing a exaggerated version of himself.
Oh yeah, everybody was.
Like I thought it was like, oh, I guess they just named his character also his name.
No,
yeah, like
Joshua Jackson was there.
When I was growing up and watching this movie back in like when it came out in 2001, my back, you gotta get a little crack. Like as Rusty's teaching them poker, like he's calling everybody like by their name, like Holly Marie Combs. You got Shane West, Joshua Jackson.
Well, I don't know anyone except for Topher. The other names are people that I don't.
You ever seen Mighty Ducks?
No.
Have you seen Dawson's
Fringe?
Creek?
No.
Dawson's Creek?
The Affair?
No.
What was the movie? What was that TV?
Well, he kept telling he's like, you gotta deal to the left. He kept
dealing to the right. He's like, you gotta deal to the left. The whole point, and you can tell he's just miserable with himself.
And he's like looking at Topher's hand. He's like, don't show me your hand. And then the next round, he's like, you're gonna want to fold.
Yeah, he's like, how you gonna want to fold?
He's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, fold.
Yeah, he's gonna fold. He's like, and then that's when Danny shows up. And he's trying to like, kind of like teach them the hard way, where like they have to actually lose money to help understand what they got to do, which I think was cool. But also like it was the way to show him, stop doing this. I got a job for you. And finally he like liberated him from all of that. What else?
Shane West,
dude. Yeah.
Walk to Remember.
Wow, that's old school. But the way that they present the plan to Ruben, played by Elliot Gould, I think is like classic, because he run down the history of like anybody who's ever tried to actually rob a casino. He's like, you know what it means to rob a casino? It's impossible in this town. And they go through all these different types. One guy, one guy who like got took a whole bunch of chips. He was able to like take a few steps before he had to be breathing through a tube. And then you just show like every like scenario of somebody getting like beat up, getting smacked with a baton. And then it gets to the very end where this one guy just gets like shot up trying to run out of the casino while listening to "Take My Breath Away" by Berlin. He's like, because it was in the 80s, I suppose, but like that whole point is just like, you can't just knock off a casino. It's like, wait, like I don't think you want to do it, because they're supposed to be like, he's like the financier of the plan. I love it when he's just like, who did you want to knock off anyway? Terry Benedict. He's like, oh. Well, then I'm in now. Because you get to the whole story of Terry.
He's taking over my casinos.
Yeah, he's taking
over. And they're
over.
like, and they were playing stupid. They're like, oh, really? Well, we didn't know that.
Oh, wow, really? Okay. Wow, Ruben, no way. You don't say. Livingston Dell, played by Eddie Jemison. He's the AV tech guy. He's like, he's working freelance, working with the FBI now. And what was his scene, Anthony, where he's in the van with the FBI guy, they're trying to touch stuff. He's like, yo, what are you doing touch? He's like, hey, relax, Radio Shack. He's like, do you see me grabbing your gun out of their holster and just flipping it about? He's like, then stop. And like, because like, how is he under pressure? Yeah, he's okay.
And then he writes everything on his hand and
then he
wipes
sweats and wipes it on his forehead. He goes, oh no. And then the one guard's like, hey buddy, hey, stop. That part was great too. He's just like, oh, he's like, no, hey, you forgot this. It's like, wow, you know what? It's the nicest security.
It was like the most tense part of the movie.
Yeah, because that was like the whole, oh crap, he's gonna get caught. Then they had to do the whole, we need to distract Benedict by having Frank, played by Bernie Mac, like just, he'd have to catch him and be like, yeah, he's at my casino. And he's all like, with Matt Damon, he's basically, which is a fun little trivia fact. He's basically playing like a weird version of his dad, who apparently works for the FBI and like anti-gaming or like gaming fraud and that kind of stuff. And so he like knows the book. But Frank had to play he plays the whole race card. He's like, oh, he's trying to go on here. He's like, no, I did not say anything at all. And then Benedict's just in here like, what am I doing wasting my time? But because the whole thing is like, you need to be like succinct, like professional, but completely forgettable. Like it was the whole thing where like, Linus, this is the time you set up. Because earlier in the movie, Linus had been kind of messing up a few times. You saw that when they had to get the EMP, he couldn't stay.
He didn't want to stay in the van with the brothers. That were like, I'm not touchy. Yes, you are. I'm not touchy. No, I'm not. It was just like little kids bickering at each other, and then he just couldn't stand it. He's like, all right, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. And then like once he gets in, everybody else gets back out. It's like, oh my god. And he just has to like fall through a window and then like almost break his back.
Being chased by like security.
And it's like, what did I say to stay in the car?
And then Don Cheadle's like, you stupid bastard. He's like, why would you do that? And then that's the scene where this guy gets hurt. He hurts his hand because they have to slam the door.
Yeah, Yen's hand gets broken, and he has to wear the hand on it. And then that's why when he does the maneuver to try to put the explosives to open the safe, his hand gets stuck because of the gauze.
The gauze, yeah.
And they're like, oh, he's not going to make it. Oh, he's not going to make it. Hold it. And then not going to make it. Then he makes it anyway. Whew.
Lucky the batteries were out of juice.
It's like, well, try the batteries. That's Linus. Oh, I was got to bring spare. And it's just like, hey, see? You know, in times like these, that's that whole bit. Oh, and how Danny got there beginning-wise. Like, he kept, like, again, like, his ulterior motive is to get Tess back. But the fact that like he's still like getting in the way of like under Terry's skin as like a massive distraction, and he gets those two guys to go to like the room with no cameras. Oh, I see what's going on here, and they bring in like the enforcer dude.
I think they called him the Bruiser.
The Bruiser, and then he goes in. He's like, "Hey, Danny, I love that." It's like, "How you doing, man?" Like. It was so funny to see that he's just like, yeah, you know.
He's like, my wife's pregnant again. He's like, oh yeah, that happens.
Yeah, that happens, man. Yeah, everything good? Yeah, cool, man. All right, cool. Hey, I'm gonna go through here. Like, hey, thanks for all this, okay? Like, you could tell throughout the entire movie, like, Danny Ocean is like the most likable criminal ever. Like, he has so much charm that like you have to be really like a real scumbag to set the sights off of to get in his sights and really try to like rob you. It is something really like kind of endearing to him, and the fact that like you got George Clooney of all people to play this guy, like he can do it just with ease. Like I don't think there was ever a point where like I guess anything was hard for everybody. Like it was just fun. Apparently, I guess the only hardest thing was that Andy Garcia couldn't keep it together because Carl Reiner is just too funny. And just seeing like in the middle of takes, just like completely like cracking up the whole time. Which, by the way, Saul is hilarious as a character. Like he's just like, you know, hey, well, he's this kind of like old school like hustler, like in with like these like hanging out again with the brothers and working out with Bash. Like it's just this whole like old meets new kind of thing. It was a good like it was great casting, but also there's a great way to kind of like bring in the whole like history of Vegas and like this kind of person like, hey, back in the day, like, oh, this stuff's different now, like, can't you just do this? And like, no sir, like this is different now. And it was really cool. Like it's like to what you said earlier, Danny, like everyone's chemistry is just so spot on. The fact that like Julia Roberts like can come off as like, yeah, I'm the curator of the museum at the Bellagio, which fun fact, there's like a real ass art gallery in the Bellagio that's worth millions and millions of dollars.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. Like it's something.
Who in their right mind?
Steve Wynn, the guy who built it. That's who.
But all those hotels are like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the Bellagio is its own thing, but
I mean, yeah. I mean, they've been quote unquote stealing people's money for decades.
What do you mean stealing? You're just giving it to them for the experience. That's definitely not stealing.
That's volunteering.
That's volunteering.
Voluntarily giving your money to them.
Yeah, it's the experience of all the casino games.
Because you had fun while you're...
Hey, you know what is free?
It's that rush of, I might win.
You might.
You just keep playing, you never win.
You know what? If you're bad, no, I'm kidding. You know what is free?
Bad luck.
Yeah, but you know what is free at the Bellagio?
No.
Yeah, no, you know it is free. You don't have to stay there to experience it. The fountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
again, outside. You could just
watch
the
fountains outside. So the whole after everything comes together, the heist is complete. Benedict realizes he's been gloriously played, not only out of the money, but he got played by Danny saying, "Hey, if you could do anything to get your money back or keep Tess, what would you pick?" And cold-heartedly, that man says, "I'm gonna keep the money." And that was when they slipped the phone into Tessa's pocket so that she can hear that conversation. And that man messed up royally, like completely.
Well, no, because she was watching the feed.
Oh, they said go. They said sorry.
Go to channel 9 or something.
They go to this room and then turn the channel, whatever it was, and it was like the closed circuit stuff. And it's like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'd give up the money. It's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna tell you where to get your money back. It's just easy, and that was like the ultimate, like, oh wow, like I'm just a bargaining chip to you.
Yeah. He asked her, or he asked him to choose, or if you want your money back, then you have to give up.
Yeah, you have to give up Tess.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, easy. And I'm just like, dude, really? Like, damn, dude. Yeah, cold-blooded.
Yeah, I think one of the things that makes this movie really good is just that it makes you want to be like a thief. Like that these guys, everything that these guys are doing is like, it makes it look so cool. And like we were saying earlier, just like the style of everything. And I think you said earlier, Xavier, that Terry Benedict is the bad guy. It's like, well, really, Terry Benedict, he's just a casino owner.
Who happens to be
just trying to protect
the main characters of this movie. They're all the bad guys, but we're watching the bad guys, and it just looks so cool. So we don't even see it that way. We're thinking like, oh yeah, they're the cool people just getting money from the bad guys. Like, not really, but
right.
It's cool anyway.
He's also, if you think about it, he's also.
It's not like Terry Benedict was stealing that money. Yeah. It wasn't like a Robin Hood situation. Yeah. Like he's just the owner, and that's just the money that was being funneled into that one casino.
He's also just the guy that ends up dating his ex-wife. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, damn, what the heck? That's, you know what I mean? Like, that's one of those like, oh, that's kind of messed up, but you know. But yeah.
Screwing that guy over for being rich.
And having a casino. And also, everybody sort of has a bone to pick with him. But what's hilarious, again, about Don Cheadle is that Don Cheadle is rocking a British accent. Like, it's hilarious. Like, I'm here like, dude, there's no way. And immediately, like, it's just like, it's silly, but like, you can pull it off. And he had a good year that year. That was 2001. He was in Ocean's 11. He was in Rush Hour 2. He was in Swordfish. I didn't watch Manic, but and then Things Behind the Sun I also didn't watch. But 2 heist movies, actually, and 2 movies that are set in Vegas, because Rush Hour 2 ends in Vegas. Holy crap, that's kind of out of hand. Coincidence? I think not. Yeah, dude. He's great in this movie. The fact that if we can't get this going, then we're rubbos. Because because the whole thing where they're trying to cut the power. Like, oh, but the city found it out.
We said that we're Barney.
We're Barney, and they're like, what? Barney Rubbo, trouble.
Barney Rubbo,
trouble. And the fact that he, the whole point in the beginning where he's part of that other crew trying to steal from a safe in a bank, and then somebody didn't get the alarm, and then he's immediately just like, well, someone didn't get the alarm. That's it. We're done. Like he's just like, that's like he was immediately just, we're done. I'm screwed. Like immediately, then he gets handcuffed, and that's when Rusty saves him. he gets him out. I was like, oh, get this guy over. He's like, oh, they're gonna like the surprise I gave him under the car. He just blows up a car.
He's like, everybody get down, and then blows up.
He's just laughing like, like you can tell, like the man's a little
He's a little crazy. Like, he even said he's like, "Oh, I'm glad to be working with like real criminals,
with proper criminals again." Proper criminals, the ones with honor. The whole idea, you're in Vegas, you're trying to work a scheme and a heist, and hey, they got to do it with class, and that's what this movie is. Honestly, it's like it's really classy. Classic, super cool,
classy thievery.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a nice heist?
Yeah, again, like a nice heist carried by fun writing, great soundtrack, amazing cast. They all had, great chemistry with each other, and it's one of those movies where like if you pull it up and it's there to watch, like you're just gonna like I'm just gonna let it rock. Yeah, it's an easy watch. You can pick up from wherever and realize where they're at and just have a lot of fun because of all the different characters.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is just the dialogue, like how the actors interact with each other and how a lot of them talk to each other. It's a lot of like witty
banter like,
and even at times people not even talking to each other, but talking to each other. Like a lot of Danny Ocean's and Rusty's interactions. There were some interactions where like Danny Ocean was trying to talk to him and he was just like depressed. Rusty was depressed and he didn't say anything. He's like, well, we have a 10. We have 10. So you think we have enough? You don't think we have enough? Do you think we need one more? Okay, we'll get one more. So like it was just him talking to himself, and Brad Pitt's just like laying his head down on the
trying
table,
to think everything. Yeah, because that's when they get to look at Linus, and he's just like, "We need one more." Yeah, we need one more. Like
they have so many, and like a lot of their back and forth when it's just like them two talking is really funny. A lot of times they're like finishing each other's thoughts and just like bouncing back and forth. Like it's very well written. It's super fun.
And it was in that moment that I realized that's why the movie's called Ocean's 11.
That his name is Danny Ocean.
His name is Danny Ocean.
Well, and then
there's
11. We have 10. Do we need one more? It's like,
there we go.
So the title's very literal.
Yes. And then and even and the scenes with Tess, Julia Roberts' character, and Danny Ocean as well. Pretty much every time they got together, it was just like both these are great actors and they have great dialogue, and you can tell that they had like a bad ending, a tumultuous relationship near the by the end of their relationship, and it was just and then
I want to marry a thief and a liar. Well, I only lied about being a thief.
Exactly. and then like every scene they were in earlier on was just like there was a lot of tension, and then especially when Terry shows up. And he's like, you're like pretty much butting into their conversation, pretty much flexes his richness, and it's like pretty much telling him,
Danny's
leave
like,
my casino.
I'm in your seat. I'm very sorry. But also, hey, I was just here to say goodbye. But goodbye. And he just lingers there, kind of like, you can tell it's getting on Terry Benedict's nerves on purpose. Like he's doing everything with, it's perfect.
And then he's like, I'm staying here. He's like, I'm taking the towels. He's like, that's fine. You can take the towels.
Yeah, it's just like take the towels.
He's like, get out of here.
Dude, hilarious.
Dialogue conversations they're too good.
Yeah, man. It's just this is one of the movies again. Like if you go to Vegas or if you've been to Vegas, you can you watch the movie and you're just like, oh yeah, like even though like a lot of stuff can change in terms of new stuff that gets built, like a massive LED sphere.
13 years old now. 14,
nope, it is
2001.
20.
Sorry, 23.
Almost 23 years old.
My math.
Oh, jeez.
I meant 23.
George Clooney was 40 when he did this movie.
It was 40? Wow.
Yeah, he was 40 when it came out. Again.
Yeah, everybody looked really young rewatching it.
Even watching Brad Pitt, it's just like, man, watching him, like, and he, like, from Snatch, it's like, dude, he looks like almost exactly like what watching Snatch and then watching this is like, oh, wow, this is like, it's like that
only like a year difference,
Pitt. Yeah. And then you got to, like, Benjamin Button a few years later. It's like, it's just like, holy crap, like, this is like, you're getting, like, it was like prime time Brad Pitt. And then, of course, everyone else, a lot of up-and-comers. Like, now Casey Affleck's a big star. Matt Damon is Matt Damon, of all things.
Well, they showed Casey Affleck first, and then they showed Matt Damon a little bit later, right?
Yeah. Because they got the brothers first. Matt Damon was the last.
That was the one. Just like, you need one more, and Rusty's like just silent. He's like, yeah, we need one more.
Because when I saw Kate, because I didn't know any one of the cast except for George Clooney, and then I think Brad Pitt were the two that I was like aware of. And then when I saw Casey Affleck, I was like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, when I saw everyone, I was like, oh, this guy, oh, this guy, oh, this guy.
And just like
and then
Ocean. He said Ocean.
so then when I saw Casey, I'm like, okay, if Casey's in this movie, then either Ben is also in it or Matt Damon's also.
It's either one or the other.
It's one or the other. It's like if you see a movie with one of them, you're gonna get one of the other ones.
He's not
almost
wrong.
guaranteed.
He's
Almost
not
guaranteed.
wrong. Yeah, if Matt
The
Damon's
only exception would be
sure there's a lot of movies.
Not even.
Matt
I was gonna
Damon's
say
in it,
Interstellar. I was gonna say Interstellar, but no, Casey Affleck's in it too, and
Yeah.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
And then same. I think maybe Manchester by the Sea is the only one I can think of, unless.
No, there's a lot of Matt Damon movies, like that one where he
But is Matt Damon
wants to
in?
become small.
Is Matt Damon?
They're not in those movies.
Manchester by the Sea.
I don't think so.
Or is Ben Affleck in?
Life Size, is that what it's called?
That might be the only
Life-size?
one that I can think of.
Matt Damon is in a lot of movies that
Not The Departed.
that these guys aren't in. Well, both of those guys aren't in The Departed.
Aren't?
No, they're not.
No, only Matt Damon.
They're in The Town.
Yeah. The Bourne movies.
Yeah, they're not in it.
They're not in the Bourne
That's what I'm
movies.
saying. Like Matt Damon's done a lot of movies where they're not in it.
Oh wait, Matt Damon was a producer for Manchester by the Sea. So does that count?
Oh,
No,
was he
he's
really?
not in it though.
He's
No,
in the
it doesn't.
crew.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, it counts. But it's adjacent.
It has the
it's
name
adjacent.
associated.
It's adjacent.
It's adjacent.
Jason.
Yeah, producer.
Bourne.
Yeah.
Downsizing.
My God.
It was called
It's Jason
Downsizing.
Bourne.
The movie where he
Downsizing,
wants to
not
shrink.
Life Size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an irreversible.
But
decision.
are any of them in the movie?
In Downsizing?
Ben Affleck or Casey Affleck?
I don't know. How
I doubt it.
in
I
this.
doubt it.
Well,
Well, all three of them were in.
Holy crap.
Were in. What do you call it?
James Vanderbeek's in that. No. Again, the CW, Dawson's Creek.
All three were in Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
three were in Good Will Hunting. No, not that I.
That was like the start of the bromance.
Pretty much.
the start.
But they had been friends
Yeah,
from
won-
when they were kids.
they won
But
writing
they wrote it
Oscars.
together and then they won the Oscar.
Yeah, and Ben Affleck has an Oscar for Argo.
It's another movie.
Another
And a show,
interesting heist movie kind of thing too. That's actually kind of cool too.
Oh, Argo. I'm thinking
Argo.
Fargo.
No, Fargo's a show.
It's a movie and a show.
And a movie and a show, exactly.
But
All
Argo,
right.
yeah. Argo is one that I want to watch too.
But yeah, dude, this movie freaking awesome.
Cool twists.
Yeah, cool twists. Again, a fun watch. Like if you could, it's not like a very long movie per se. Like it's just
Just 2 hours.
2 hours flat.
Doesn't really.
No,
feel-
an
I
hour
feel like
56.
it does fly by though.
Yeah, an hour and 56 minutes. Yeah, it's really really good.
It's like it's not an action movie, but it's a fun heist movie. Yeah, it's like we mentioned, like it's super easy watch. If it's on TV, it's like one of those that you could just
Yeah.
sit down and watch the rest of it wherever it's on,
Yeah,
wherever it is in the movie.
it's yeah, like a lot of times cable will play it, and it's usually like it can play like in full. Like I think maybe like a couple curse words have to be bleeped or like weirdly ADR'd like they do.
They got away with 2 F-bombs
Yeah,
for being PG-13.
yeah. The main one is from Yen when they finally opened the vault, or was it the vault, or was it they opened the yeah, right? It's when they opened the
Yeah,
vault.
it's on the
And he's
vault,
waiting.
Yeah, he's waiting for them all. It's just like, you know, where you been? Like, it's just, and that's that guy's first role, by the way. Like, he actually was an acrobatic performer, and they actually were like, hey, do you want to be in this movie? And
But when they were scouting him out and Rusty's doing
In
the
the
whole
movie.
voiceover of all the people when they get to Yen, they're at like a Cirque du Soleil or like circus show.
Yeah.
And then
Danny Ocean is not.
Well,
Danny Ocean's like,
I think
so
it
which
was,
one is it? He's like, it's the little Chinese man. He's
think it was, like,
they're-
that's the Barnum.
They're like all little Chinese men.
That's the best funny part.
Just
Danny
his
Ocean-
reaction to it.
Rusty's like, oh, he's a little Chinese guy. It's just like, and Danny Ocean's like, do you know how little that narrows it down? Like, just giving him the look again, like the really good acting, just like, sure. And he's like, yeah, watch him right here. And then he does that one flip and he lands with just his feet. And he's like, oh, okay, that guy's got skill. And what's funny is as they're going through the different plans, like, oh, the vault has a lasers thing and everything else, like, Yen will say something in Chinese, and then Rusty's like, no, you can't do that. So like Rusty knows
He knows
Chinese,
Chinese.
like this, like,
just knows
all
everything.
those little things. They're just like,
or
say
like
something.
I
Like,
feel like
what the hell?
several of them knew kind of what he was talking about because
I'm pretty sure Linus was like, dude, what the hell are you saying? Like half the time, like he was the real. It's funny. He's like the real fish out of water.
Well,
because he's like going up to the big times now.
in that scene where they were all kind of together, like the guy speaking Chinese, and then Rusty is like responding, and then Don Cheadle his character is kind of looking over at the Chinese guy, and he's just like, what? looking like between him and Rusty.
Yeah.
Like did he really just
It's
understand?
like,
What he just
yeah, it's still going on through. It's like, again, like there's a lot of really fun things, like, and like Bernie Mac as Frank's character, like as a character Frank Catton, he's like that old time hustler, just like trying to like bamboozle you with a whole bunch of words and then like sleight of hand trick and all this stuff going on. Like, yeah, Frank is great. Like I love, like, again, like with the later movies too, like Bernie Mac is a treasure, man. I miss Bernie Mac.
R.I.P.
Yeah, man, I really miss Bernie Mac. But yeah,
Uncle Bobby B.
oh my god, I missed that in the Bernie Mac show. Kings of Comedy, yeah, dude. Like it's just if you like, sometimes I always get like that Bernie Mac fix I get from watching this movies or like this series of movies. So it's like, oh yeah, Bernie Mac is awesome. Like he's great also in 13, like with Pacino. That one scene where he's pitching the game to Pacino and Andy Garcia, and they have to play that whole little scenario out. Like that's just like, come on, like it's perfect. Like again,
That's right. He was in Transformers.
He sold Bumblebee.
Yeah,
to
yeah, that's
Shia
right.
LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if Michael Bay was like, yo, Brady, can you be in a movie for like 5 minutes? Okay, why not?
Hey, meme.
Yeah, man, it's freaking great. Right now it's on Hulu, but if you can find like
/ Disney Plus.
Yeah.
yeah.
You can watch it through Disney Plus if you have that
If you have
bundle subscription.
But if you can find it like on a Blu-ray 4K or something, if it's there, like just buy it. Like the movie's great. Like I can't, like it's a good one to like have in a collection if you're a physical media collector, and it's always a good time. I don't know if you guys can agree. I don't know if there's something you want to put. If we can put it up to a rating.
Yeah.
To a vote.
For me, I'll say easily 11 out of 10.
Damn, man, that's not fair.
Hey,
Cranked it to 11?
Cranked it.
You gotta see that
It's
for a
it's a good
specific movie.
Yeah, man, the movie's too much fun.
Not Spinal Tap.
Yeah, I said, yeah, but these go to 11. No. Yeah, man, I would, I was gonna make a Lennox Lewis joke because that was the boxing fight that was there at the time, but, you know, I would give it a 9 out of 10 of those little remote control trucks that get run over by Scott Kahn, by Turk over for the brother. That whole race is so stupid. It's just like, I'm just gonna break it out of nowhere. Anyway, like
why would he think the remote control car would win? Like, I don't understand.
But like, even so, it was like kind of sort of catching up, and he's just like, you know what? Nah. And he just like broke
Nah.
just out of spite. Like, they're just like the ultimate like petty brothers. So yes, 9 out of 10 of those little trucks because they're hilarious. I'm not gonna do casino chips or, you know, roulette balls or anything like that.
Why not?
I don't know, because that's one of the funniest scenes in that movie for me. Anthony, what do you got?
I'm the same. This movie is just great all around. Still really fun and good. Seen it again.
Yeah, it
I've
holds
seen
up.
it. Yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times in the past 50 years, however old this movie is. But oh, jeez, my back. But yeah, I give it a 9 as well. I'm trying to think of a clever 9 glow sticks because they used those glow sticks to
go down the thing.
go down the hatch.
9 out of 10 fake money bags. 9 out of 10 EMPs.
They only had one EMP.
Yeah, they only have one. They really only
One to knock out the whole city's power for
Yeah.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
That's all I need. And
Exactly.
cue the jazz music. Boom. Lots of jazz music.
And a little less conversation. Like, that mix is really
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Got all the style.
Yeah, dude. It's too good, man. Close it out, Zach. What would you give this movie?
I was trying to think of something clever too, but I can't think of anything.
How about triple sevens on the slot machine? No. It can't be just sevens.
It's too low.
It's too low, exactly. Like
An ace.
a soft seven.
And
21 out of 2.
A blackjack. No.
a royal flush. No.
Ooh.
Give it 4 9s.
I would even what?
Yeah,
Isn't that what he got? Isn't that how he won?
yeah, that's how he won
in
in the
yeah.
Hollywood Underground casino thing. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, sure. Four nines out of tens.
4 9 out of 10s.
4 9s out of 4 10s.
No, it's 4 9 out of 10s. 4 9 out of 10s.
Was it who was one of the other guys that was in that game?
Like the real actors playing
Yeah.
rando versions of
Yeah, it was another
themselves?
guy that I recognized from a couple things from the 90s. What was his name?
Not Topher, right?
No, not Topher. Not Joshua Jackson. Not Shane
It was
West.
the guy from Seventh Heaven.
Seventh Heaven or Gilmore Girls?
Barry
I know he's in
Watson.
one of
7-Eleven.
those things.
Joshua
7-Eleven.
Jackson.
No, it must have been Sid.
Well, I think it was that guy where he's like, "Oh, I win," and then Rusty's like,
No,
you
you
have 6 cards." And then he looks at Joshua Jackson. He's like, "How did you give him 6 cards?" He's like, "I dealt to the left."
I don't know. I dealt to the left. Just like, dude, no.
He's like, "No, you didn't win. You can't have 6 cards."
Oh man,
You have 6 cards in a 5-card game.
dude, that's hilarious. What was it? No, like I have to. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but
We have Shane West, Joshua Jackson, Holly Marie Combs, Topher Grace. Oh my gosh.
yeah, because even back then I recognized like 3 or 4 of those people because they were big in the 90s. So I was like, "Oh, I've seen those
That
people."
was the whole thing.
Yeah, I was like, I've seen those people.
Like that was like the whole like shebang for that movie.
Like Joshua Jackson, I know him from Mighty Ducks, but he was super popular from Dawson's Creek at that time. Topher Grace, I think that was during the heyday of the 70s show
Yeah.
before he became Venom and Spider-Man.
Oh,
Ugh.
man. God, please kill Peter Parker, man. ultimate hater energy goes to Topher Grace as Eddie Brock. Freaking
Topher
hilarious.
Grace also in Interstellar.
Holy
Oh yeah.
yeah. What the hell? Yo, my
And
brain.
Timothy Chalamet.
Who's just in everything now. No.
Young Timothy Chalamet.
Young Timothy Chalamet.
Child.
Who Casey Affleck played the older version of.
Yeah.
Correct.
In the same movie.
Yep, that is
That's crazy.
correct. Yeah, guys. So, thank you so much for tuning in. I love talking about this
Awesome
movie.
movie.
This movie's it's so good. It's awesome. I feel like I'm repeating myself 18 times over. The movie's too great. Go out if you listen to this and you thought, man, it scratches that itch to want to go watch the movie. Go ahead and watch the movie.
Or to go steal stuff.
Or to go steal stuff. I mean, like,
Don't do that.
Which we
Don't do that.
Which we don't encourage.
we don't encourage because there's more
Unless you
likely
do
we're
it
not gonna
in
take
this
it.
style.
Yeah, in this style.
But you can't and you shouldn't.
Oh man, it's freaking awesome. All right. With that, folks, tune in next time when we talk about our next movie review. We cannot wait. And once you guys hear this or you go through the kind of history of what we've got, we'd love to see what you guys come up with in terms of 4 emojis to describe Ocean's 11. We'll be posting that up on our Instagram and Threads page. But please comment what you would put under those emojis if you thought, hey, those are perfect, or hey, here are some different ones. Go, have fun. We'd love to see it. So until then, everybody, tune in next time.
Later.
Later.
Bye.